Are individuals who earn minimum wage, are they tax exempt?
For individual that earns minimum of 30,000, per month, they are tax exempt. That's what the law says. But the law also says that there's a minimum that such person can pay, which is just 3,000. That is 10% of that.
Mr. Adebayo, as part of your duties, do you ensure that taxpayers know their obligations and rights as well?
For taxpayers, they have obligations that they must fulfill to the state and to the agency. And for their rights, they also have their rights. And I'll start from the right. They have the rights, how the assessments were raised. They have the rights to know. They also have the right to know what the tax, liability is, which must also be communicated to them in writing. And in terms of obligation, they have an obligation to also ensure that they file their returns, annually, both from the individual end, from the corporate end. It's an obligation, and it's a statutory obligation that must be, done by all and sundries.
Sir, you mentioned earlier that filing tax returns is one of the obligations imposed on taxpayers. What are the potential consequences of failing to comply with this requirement?
Failure to do that, according to Peter, that is a personal income tax, section 81, says that for every corporate organization that fails to file their return, shall pay a sum of 500,000 penalty for failure to render their returns as appropriate. And the same thing goes for enterprise. Most enterprises are owned by individuals who have failed to do so. They shall have a penalty of about 50,000. However, there's also a section of the law which also says that where a taxpayer fails to render returns as appropriate, that person shall be charged whatever it is that is the gross earning of the preceding years in line with the law. So the penalties are there.